I died on a Tuesday, choking on my own vomit in the sterile glow of my bathroom tiles. The bottle of Xanax scattered like confetti from hell across the floor. The last thing I remembered was the email from HR, fired for gross negligence. They called it my hands shaking as I swallowed pill after pill. The betrayal burning hotter than the bile rising in my throat. But death wasn't the end. It was a goddamn reset button, slamming me back into my body 3 years earlier. Heart pounding in a meeting room that smelled like stale coffee and fresh ambition. My 28-year-old self blinking at the calendar on my screen like it was a bomb about to tick down to zero. My name is Avery Hayes, and I was just the scheduler. That's what they called me at Apex Dynamics, the mid-tier tech firm in downtown Seattle where dreams went to die under fluorescent lights and endless pivot tables. I coordinated the chaos, board meetings, client calls, exec retreats like a puppet master with a clipboard, making sure the C-suite's egos didn't collide midair. It paid the bills, kept my tiny Capitol Hill apartment from foreclosure, and let me pretend I was climbing the ladder instead of just oiling its rungs. Back then, in that reset moment, I was fresh off a promotion to senior coordinator. My first real taste of power, toasting with cheap rose at a rooftop bar with my best friend Lena, who swore I'd be running the division by 30. But I knew better now, because I'd lived the end. The mistake that wasn't mine. The Fall Guy setup. The knife in my back twisted by the one person I trusted most. It hit me like a freight train as I stared at my laptop screen that morning, September 15th, 2022. The date burned into my soul. The team was huddled in the glass-walled conference room on the 22nd floor, rain smacking against the windows like impatient fingers. Marcus Hale, my boss, the golden boy VP with his Ivy League smirk and tailored suits that screamed old money, was droning on about Q4 projections. Avery, sync the timelines with R&D, make it airtight, he said, flashing that disarming grin that had charmed investors and bedded interns. I nodded, fingers flying over the keys. Scheduling the demo for the Quantum Sync project, our flagship AI scheduling tool, ironically enough. It was supposed to revolutionize corporate efficiency, predicting bottlenecks before they choked the life out of deals. That's when the whisper hit my ear. Not from the room, but from the ghost of my future self. He's lying. He's already selling it out from under us. My stomach lurched. In my first life, that demo had been the pinnacle, or so I thought. I'd pulled all-nighters aligning calendars across time zones, cross-referencing patents with legal, even flying to Silicon Valley for a dry run. Marcus had praised me in front of the board, his hand on my shoulder like a proud father. Avery's the glue, he'd said. And then, 2 weeks later, the crash, a leaked memo showing Quantum Sync's core algorithm ripped off from a competitor. Deadlines fudged to hide the theft. The SEC investigation. The headlines: Apex Dynamics in plagiarism scandal, scheduler oversights blamed. They pinned it on me. Me? The nobody with the color-coded spreadsheets. Marcus testified that I'd ignored his warnings, that I'd rushed the schedule to meet bonuses. Lena, my ride or die, turned state's evidence for a plea deal, spilling fabricated emails where I'd supposedly begged for shortcuts. I lost everything: job, savings, sanity. The divorce papers from my husband Jake, who couldn't handle the stress, arrived the day the indictment did. And, in the end, alone in that bathroom, I'd chosen the pills over the trial. Now, I was back. Heart racing, palms slick. I forced a smile at Marcus as the meeting wrapped. On it, boss. I'll loop in Lena for the backups. Lena Patel, My sharp-tongued confidant from marketing shot me a wink across the table. In my old life, she'd been the sister I never had, late-night venting over takeout pad thai about glass ceilings and asshole clients. But she'd sold me out for a corner office and a clean record. Not this time, I thought, the venom coiling in my gut like a live wire. I slipped out to the balcony, overlooking the Puget Sound, the ferries cutting gray wakes below, and lit a cigarette, a habit I'd kicked in my first life. But screw it. The city sprawled out, all steel and ambition, a jungle where predators wore lanyards. I had 3 years to unravel the web. Marcus wasn't just sloppy, he was a thief. I'd overheard him in the first timeline. Late-night calls to a shadowy contact at rival firm Nexus Corp, bartering code for kickbacks. But proof? Buried deep. Encrypted in his private server. The one he accessed via a hidden app on his phone. My phone buzzed, Jake. Texting about dinner plans. Miss you already, babe. God. The innocence of it stung. We'd met at a networking mixer 2 years prior, bonded over craft IPAs and shared cynicism about corporate grind. He was a mid-level dev at a startup, all tousled hair and easy laughs. The kind of guy who made you believe in white picket fences despite the student loans. In this reset, I could save us. Or break him if he turned. But first, revenge. Slow. Surgical. The kind that left scars no lawsuit could touch. Back at my desk, a cubicle fortress of planners and highlighters, I started small. Pulled up the quantum sync files, eyes scanning for the first thread to pull. There, a discrepancy in the patent timestamps, filed weeks before R&D even greenlit the project. Marcus's signature on the prelim docs, dated back. Forgery? Or insider tip? I screenshot it discreetly, emailing it to my personal Gmail under the guise of backup. Paranoia was my new best friend. Lunch was a solo affair at the food truck downstairs, a falafel wrap that tasted like ash. I scrolled X, formerly Twitter, because who had time for rebrands, searching Marcus's handle at Hail the Trailblazer. Polished posts about innovation summits. Humble brags with tech bros. But buried in replies, a thread from a disgruntled ex-employee. Apex is a house of cards. Watch the scheduler, she's the weak link. Dated 6 months from now. Chills. They were already positioning me. Afternoon blurred into calls. I rescheduled a client sync with Nexus, Marcus's voice on the line smooth as silk. Avery. Make it seamless. These guys are key. Key to what? I noted the time, the participants. Planted a subtle flag in the shared calendar. Confidential, IP review required. Harmless, right? But in the audit trail, it'd raise eyebrows later. By 5 p.m., the office thinned, suits shuffling to happy hours. I lingered, hacking into the building's Wi-Fi analytics, perks of being the scheduler. I knew every backdoor password. Marcus's login pinged from the exec lounge. I crept down the hall, heels muffled on carpet, peering through the frosted glass. There he was, phone to ear, voice low. Yeah, the code's gold. Tell Victor I'll need the offshore account wired by Friday. Victor Klein, Nexus's CTO. Bingo. I didn't confront him. Not yet. Revenge wasn't a sprint, it was a marathon of mindfucks. Instead, I texted Lena, drinks tonight? Need to vent about M. Her reply, always, girl. That man's ego is a black hole. I smiled. Cold. Trust was a currency, and I'd counterfeit it all. That night, Jake and I cooked pasta in our cramped kitchen, his arms around my waist as I stirred sauce. "Rough day?" he asked, kissing my neck. I leaned into it, the normalcy a balm against the storm in my head. Just the usual corporate BS. But as we ate by candlelight, I watched him, really watched. In the first life, he'd stuck by me until the end, but grief twists people. Would he break this time? Or could I shield him? Sleep came fitful. Dreams of courtrooms and pill bottles. Morning brought clarity. Step 1. Build the dossier. I started a hidden drive on my cloud, logging every anomaly. The patent glitch. The Nexus call. A quick dive into public records. Marcus's wife filed for separation last year. Alimony draining his legit accounts. Motive. Week 1 blurred into strategy. I volunteered for the quantum audit team, citing efficiency expertise. Marcus beamed. "That's my girl." "Your girl?" I echoed silently. "Until I got you." Lena and I bonded over war stories, me dropping breadcrumbs about weird scheduling overlaps. She laughed it off, but her eyes flickered. Guilt. Or just fatigue. By month's end, the first crack showed. An internal memo circulated. IP vulnerabilities in QSync. Review all timelines. My flag had worked. Marcus called me in. Door closed. "Avery, what's this about Nexus?" His tone casual, but eyes sharp as scalpels. "Just covering bases, boss." "Can't be too careful." I met his gaze, unflinching. The power shift thrilled me. Electric. He leaned back, steepling fingers. "Smart. But tread light. These waters are shark-infested." "Warning or threat?" "Both." "Probably." I left his office lighter. The new side looped around his neck, tightening just a notch. 3 years was plenty. I'd dismantle him brick by brick, expose the rot, and walk away queen of the ashes. But as I hit the elevator, my phone buzzed an anonymous text. "You think you know betrayal? Wait till you see what's coming." Who the hell was that? The text burned a hole in my pocket all weekend. A ghost from futures I hadn't lived yet. I deleted it, blocked the burner number. Told myself it was paranoia, Marcus's mind games starting early. But sleep evaded me. Jake snores a distant comfort as I paced our bedroom, the Space Needle's lights winking like conspirators through the blinds. By Sunday brunch at a Pike Place cafe, over lattes and scones, I cracked. "Babe, ever feel like you're living the same day over?" Jake chuckled, buttering his plate. "Groundhog Day vibes." "Nah. Life's too random for that." If only he knew how scripted the end could be. Monday hit like a caffeine crash. Office buzzed with the audit fallout, whispers of restructuring slithering through the break room. I dove deeper. My scheduler accessed a skeleton key to the kingdom. Pulled server logs, Marcus's late-night uploads to an external FTP. Timestamps aligning with Nexus board meetings. I cross-referenced with flight records. He jetted to San Francisco, twice unlogged. Personal days, my ass. Each find fueled the fire. But isolation gnawed. Who could I trust? Lena? Jake? Even my own reflection seemed suspect in the first life haze. I tested Lena that week. "Hey, remember that weird Nexus overlap last month?" Marcus seemed off. We were in the ladies' lounge. Mirrors fogged from hand-washing. She paused. Mascara wand midair. "Off how?" He's always wheeling and dealing. Her laugh too bright. Deflection dialed to 11. Just.
Sloppy.
Maybe. I pressed. Sloppy enough to steal? Silence stretched. Her eyes darting. Avery. Don't go there. Careers end on whispers. Warning noted. She was in it, knew more than she let on. Marcus upped the ante. Pulled me into a strategy session. His office a shrine to ego. Framed Forbes clippings. A signed photo with Elon. Avery. You're indispensable, he said. Pouring scotch at 3 p.m. But this audit's got brass twitchy. Help me smooth it, off the books. He slid a USB across the desk. Revised timelines. Tweak the metadata. Make it predate the Nexus pitch. My blood iced. This was it, the forgery blueprint from my first death.
Boss. That's.
Altering records. He leaned in, cologne cloying. It's survival. You want that director's spot? Play ball. I pocketed the drive, feigning compliance. For you?
Anything.
Out in the hall, I dry heaved in the stairwell, the weight of temptation crushing. In the old timeline, I'd done it, falsified the stamps to fix a glitch, dooming myself. This time, fuel for the pyre. Home that night, I plugged in the USB on my air-gapped laptop, bought with cash from a Best Buy in Tacoma. Untraceable. Files spilled. Altered code snippets. Emails to Victor Klein coded in baseball metaphors. Home run on the fastball. Third base Friday. Kickbacks funneled through a Cayman shell. Laundered as consulting fees. Marcus wasn't just stealing. He was gutting Apex for a Nexus exec gig. Golden parachute intact. But the real gut punch? Lena's name in the chain, CC'd on the initial leak. Her signature on a non-disclosure for Project Advisory. My best friend.
Trading my loyalty for a slice.
Rage boiled. But I channeled it. Mirrored the drive to my dossier. Added annotations. Evidence mounting like a house of cards. Mine to topple. The controversy brewed mid-October. A town hall memo. Enhanced compliance protocols. Translation witch hunt. I volunteered as audit liaison, positioning myself at the heart. Marcus eyed me warily, but couldn't refuse without red flags. In closed-door huddles, I dropped hints, odd file mods in the logs, timestamp anomalies. Execs shifted, glances at Marcus sharpening. Lena cornered me after. What the hell? Ave? You're stirring shit. Her voice a hiss in the parking garage. Rain sheeting down. Just doing my job. I held her gaze, searching for the fracture. If something's rotten, better excise it now. She grabbed my arm, nails digging. Some things are bigger than you. Drop it, or we'll both drown.
We.
The slip confirmed it. She was protecting her skin, not mine. I pulled away, sliding into my Civic. Drove to a dive bar in Fremont, nursing a whiskey neat. Plotting. Revenge needed teeth. Public. Vicious. Leaked to the press? Too soon. Traceable. Internal sabotage? Risky.
No.
Smarter. Turn their weapons against them. I started drafting anonymous posts for Glassdoor. Seeding doubt. VP level IP theft at Apex. Check the schedulers. They're covering. Vague enough to sting. Jake noticed the shift.
You're
intense lately. We were tangled in sheets. Post-sex glow fading. Work stress, I murmured, tracing his tattoos. Promise you'll tell me if it's more? His eyes earnest. vulnerable. I kissed him fierce. Always. Lie or truth. TBD. November brought the first real tremor. Quantum demo prep rant. Me at the helm. I accidentally synced a test run with Nexus's public calendar, overlapping slots screaming conflict. Marcus raged in my inbox. Fix this now. I replied sweetly. Already on it, flagged for legal. The CC list? Everyone. Boardroom tension crackled like static. During the walkthrough, I presented timelines with noted discrepancies highlighted. Eyes on Marcus, who sweated through his Brooks Brothers shirt. Minor oversights, he bluffed. But Victor Klein's name slipped in a slide, my doing. Gasps rippled. Post-meeting, HR pulled me aside. Avery, this is bold. Reckless. Even. Reckless? Try righteous. That night, the anonymous text resumed, playing with fire. Scheduler. Back off. Or your hubby burns first.
Jake. They knew about Jake. Panic clawed.
But I traced the number, burner. Routed through VPN. Marcus? Or Lena? I installed nanny cams in our apartment. Paranoia my armor. Holiday party loomed. A glittering trap. I dressed to kill. Red sheath. Heels like stilettos, Jake beaming at my side. Marcus cornered us by the bar. Charm offensive. Avery, you're a star.
Jake.
You lucky dog. Jake laughed. Clueless. I sipped champagne. Venom sweet. To new beginnings, I toasted, clinking his glass. Lena arrived late, eyes red-rimmed. We slipped to the balcony, city lights blurring. Ave.
Please.
Marcus is desperate. He knows you're digging.
Confession?
Or bait. Desperate men confess, I said softly. What did he offer you? Tears welled. A promotion. Immunity if it blows. But I can't. I won't let you destroy everything. Her hand on mine.
Pleading.
I squeezed back, then twisted. You already did. When you hit send on that email. She recoiled, face ashen. How? I didn't answer. Stormed inside, leaving her in the cold. By New Year's, the dossier swelled, 200 pages of screenshots, transcripts, wire traces. I consulted a hacker buddy from college. Off books via Signal. Bury it deep, but make it bloom. He chuckled. Corporate takedown? My favorite. Planted digital landmines, timed emails to SEC whistleblower lines. Coded to trigger on keyword hits. But the twist gutted me. Reviewing Jake's emails, routine check. Or so I told myself. I found it, correspondence with Lena. Innocuous at first. Avery stressed, keep an eye? Then deeper. She suspects. Marcus wants insurance. Jake's reply on it. Love her, but family's first. Family? What family?
No. God. No.
Jake wasn't just oblivious. He was complicit. A mole, feeding scraps to keep the peace. My husband, the man I die for, bartering my secrets for.
What?
Stability? The lie shattered me. I confronted him that eve, wine glass shattering on tile. How long?
Jake.
His face crumpled. Ave. It's not. Marcus approached me months ago. Said it was just team building. I didn't know it'd go this far.
Lies.
The texts. The overlaps. He'd been the leak point.
Ipexabate.
Tears hot. Get out, he begged.
But I was steel now.
Alone in the dark, I wept for the girl who'd trusted. Then rose, dossier in hand. No more half measures. The board meeting in March, my stage. I'd present the error report, timelines pristine except for the noose, Marcus's crimes, Lena's complicity, Jake's footnotes. But as dawn broke, another text, you think it's just us? The division falls. But so do you. The sender? Unknown. Deeper players? The real game had just begun.
Exile suited me.
I crashed at a sublet in Belltown, a shoebox with harbor views and 0 ghosts, subletting my soul to the rhythm of foghorns and regret. Jake's calls went to voicemail. His voicemail's a litany of, I love you. Let's fix this. A fix? Like patching a bullet hole with tape. Lena ghosted. Professional courtesy emails her only trace. Marcus cranked the charm. Concerned, check-ins masking the blade he sharpened. I played along, clocking in remotely. My scheduler thrown now a war room of spreadsheets laced with poison. January thawed into February's frost. Apex teetering on audit ice. Whispers turned to roars. Stock dipped 8%. Analysts sniffing blood. I accelerated the sabotage, subtly rerouted demo feeds to include archived emails. Marcus's voice memos auto-forwarded to compliance bots. Harmless glitches? Or harbingers? The board convened emergency sessions. My invites essential. The controversy ignited at the all-hands. CEO Harlan Voss, a silver fox with a TED Talk vibe, addressed the auditorium via Zoom. Face grave. We've hit turbulence. Team. But Apex endures. Applause polite.
Tension thick.
Then Q&A. An engineer piped up. Heard about IP flags. What's the story? Murmurs. Harlan deflected, but eyes flicked to Marcus off-screen, who looked like he'd swallowed glass. Post-call. I got the summons. Voss's office. 42nd floor. Panoramic Empire views. Marcus there too. Ty Askew. Avery. Harlan boomed. Your diligence flagged this mess. Explain. I laid it out, calendars as alibis, timelines as traps. It's not oversight,
sir.
It's orchestration. Marcus interjected. Voice oily. She's overreaching. Stress from the divorce. Divorce? How'd he know? Jake's leak. No doubt. Harlan's gaze hardened. Divorce? Avery? I waved it off.
Stealing.
Personal's personal. But this? I slid my tablet across. Dossier teaser. Redacted emails. Nexus ties. This is criminal. Harlan scrolled. Color draining. Marcus blustered. Fabrications. She's gunning for my spot. But the seed planted. Doubts weed choking his defense. I left Voss's lair buzzing. The power intoxicating. But controversy's double-edged. HR audit on me now. Potential conflicts. Lena's handiwork? I tailed her after work one drizzly eve. Her Audi weaving to a Capitol Hill wine bar.
Inside.
Hushed booth with Victor Klein, Nexus shark in the flesh. Paunchy and predatory. I lingered in shadows. Phone recording via glass. The girl's onto us, Victor growled. Lena's reply, I'll handle. Jake's feeding me her moves. Confirmation. And the gut twist. Tell Marcus the fallback's live, offshore pivot. Fallback? They had contingencies. My meddling? Just a speed bump. Rage simmered to strategy. I needed allies, not ghosts. Reached out to Raj. The engineer from Q&A, quiet, Principled. Passed over for promotions, Marcus hoarded. Coffee at a neutral Starbucks. You smell the rot too? His nod reluctant.
Years.
But proof. I slid a burner drive. Yours now. Use it. He pocketed it. Eyes fierce. Why me? Because good men fight dirty when cornered. March roared in like a lioness scorned. Demo day loomed. Quantum sinks baptism. I oversaw rehearsals. Embedding tripwires. A glitch in the live sync pulling Marcus's private calendar. Nexus meets. Wire transfers blinking like neon sins. The auditorium packed. Execs.
Press.
Investors in pressed khakis. Harlan on stage. Marcus beside. Me in the wings scripting doom. It kicked off flawless, AI humming. Projections dazzling. Then, mid-pitch, screen flickers. Calendar overlay. Confidential, Klein rendezvous. February 14th, payment pending.
Gasps.
Marcus froze. Mic hot. Technical error. But the feed rolled. Emails cascading. Code transfer complete. $500,000 inbound. Chaos erupted. Phones out. Flashes popping. Harlan yanked the plug. Face thunder. Security swarmed. Marcus bolted. Me blocking the exit with a serene boss. Cops arrived, sirens wailing. Apex lobby a circus. Marcus cuffed. Sputtering. This is her. Avery set me up. Harlan stare bored into me. Did you? Temptation whispered confession. The sweet release of truth. But no. Controversy was my blade. Just scheduled the truth.
Sir.
Timelines don't lie. Interrogation room. Detectives in rumpled suits. Coffee breath. MS.
Haze.
You orchestrated this. I smiled. Miranda writes fresh. Orchestrated? I scheduled. Big difference. My lawyer, pro bono from a whistleblower org, shuttled in. Dossier unleashed. Lena hauled in next. Crumbling under lights. It was survival. Marcus promised. Jake? Last. Face haggard. Ave. I did it for us. To protect you from the fallout.
Protect?
By pimping my secrets? Bail hearings blurred into headlines. Apex VP nabbed in IP heist. Scheduler hero or saboteur? Pundits on CNBC debated. Corporate vigilante or disgruntled ex. My face plastered. Jake's too. Husband implicated in scandal. He texted from lockup. Forgive me.
Delete. Freed on bond.
I hold up in the sublet. World fracturing. Raj called. SEC's involved. Boards purging. Allies blooming. But the text persisted. Nice show. But the curtain's not down.
Check your roots. Roots?
I dug family?
No.
Then it hit. My first life indictment. The oversight I'd supposedly owned. Fabricated. But seated in a junior role memo. Signed by Harlan Voss.
No.
The CEO? My mentor. The man who'd promoted me 3 years back. I pored over old files, his emails to Marcus. Nudge the scheduler. Make her the buffer. Buffer for what? Their joint venture. Apex Nexus merger under the table. Quantum as bait. Harlan wasn't oversight. He was architect. Betrayals abyss yawned. The man I'd idolized. Toasting at my promo party. Avery, you're the future. Future pawn. I confronted him via secure line. Voice steady. You built this house of cards. And me as the fall. His chuckle paternal. Smart girl. But exposure cuts both ways.
Drop it.
Or your hero narrative crumbles. Tax evasion on those anonymous leaks. Checkmate? Almost. But I had the full dossier now. Harlan's fingerprints smudged across. Twist. He wasn't Endgame. He was the Veil. Real villain? A bored cabal. Voss their front. Siphoning Apex for personal empires. My revenge? Not one throat. But the Hydra. April bloomed bloody. Trials loomed. Media frenzy. I testified crisp. Timeline's my sword. Marcus's greed. Lena's ambition. Jake's weakness. Harlan's hubris. Controversy peaked. Op-eds scorning rogue employees. Counterpieces hailing whistleblower justice. Protests outside Apex HQ. Fire the suits. My face on billboards. Accidental icon. But the strain cracked me. Sleepless. Pills tempting, ironies bite. Jake visited once. Through glass. I was scared. Ave. Of losing the life we planned. I pressed the receiver. You lost me the day you chose fear. He wept. I walked. Lena's plea. Reduced sentence for testimony. I'm sorry, she sobbed in depot. You are family. Family betrays bloodiest. Marcus folded fast, ratting Harlan for leniency. She knew, pushed me, lies. But the chain reaction, Voss arrested mid-board meeting. Liv streamed collapse. Yet the final text came as verdicts neared, roots run deep. Your father's debt? We own it. Father? Dead 10 years. Gambling debts buried.
How?
I traced. Apex loan shark arm. Harlan's side hustle. Leveraged against me pre-promo. They'd groomed me as sacrificial lamb from day one. Fury forged final play. With Raj's hack crew. I leaked it all. WikiLeaks-style dump. Ledgers. Memos. My father's ghost IOUs. Apex stock cratered 40%. Division dissolved overnight. Schedulers' reckoning trended global. But victory's hollow. Alone in the sublet. Rain lashing. I stared at the sound. 3 years reclaimed. But scars eternal. Was this justice? Or just vengeance's echo? The knock came at dawn.
Not cops, FBI.
MS.
Hayes.
New leads. You're not done. The FBI raid wasn't a knock. It was a battering ram. Shattering my sublet's door at 6:03 a.m. Agents in tack vests barking federal, like a bad cop show. I bolted upright. Heart hammering. Remnants of a pill-fogged dream clinging, my father's face. Gaunt and grinning over poker chips. Whispering you owe.
Kid.
They cuff me loose. Rights recited amid the chaos. Overturned drawers. Seized laptops. My dossier's cloud key yanked like a tooth. Lead agent. A no-nonsense Latina named Reyes. Leaned in. Avery Hayes. You're under investigation for conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Care to explain the offshore mirrors? Mirrors? My leaks. Laundered through proxies Raj's crew set up. Clean. I'd thought. Untraceable bounces via Tor and dummy core in Estonia. But Harlan's cabal? They had tentacles in dark web finance. Counterhacks tracing my digital breadcrumbs.
As they hauled me downtown.
Seattle's gray dawn smearing the van windows. The twist sank in. I'd won the battle. Ignited the war. Apex division crumbled. Layoffs hit 200. Stock in freefall, but the Hydra grew heads. Voss's arrest? Ruse. Plea for bigger fish. A senator's slush fund. Apex as funnel for DC influence peddling. Holding cell was a fluorescent purgatory. Concrete bench my throne. Lawyer shuffled in. Harried. They've got you on the dumps. IP addresses pinged to your VPN. VPN? The one-eyed ditched post-leak. Paranoia lapse. And your ex? Jake's singing, full immunity for flipping on your operations.
Jake.
That snake molted again, trading my neck for his freedom. Rage choked. But I swallowed. What's their play? Bigger than Apex. National security angle, stolen tech funneled to foreign entities. You're the patsy now. Interrogation marathon, Reyes and her silver-haired partner. Grilling over cold coffee. You didn't just schedule meetings?
Hayes.
You scheduled a takedown. For what? Revenge porn on a corporate scale? I met her eyes. Unflinching. Justice. They stole my life, literally. The death slip hung. But I clammed.
No.
The pills stayed buried. Vulnerability was suicide. They played tapes, my voice memos to Raj. Bury the ledger. Make it viral. Contextual. Damning out. Conspiracy, Reyes pressed.
Who else?
The engineer?
Raj.
I stonewalled. Solo act. Lies for loyalty. He'd risked family for this. Hours blurred. By noon. Bail denied. Flight risk. Jail jumpsuit itched. Cellmate a tattooed grifter eyeing my white-collar ass. News cycled. Whistleblower to felon. Scheduler's scandal deepens. Pundits pivoted, me from hero to villainous. Disgruntled millennial torching bridges. Social media lynched. Avery the Snake trending. Memes of me as cartoon schemer. Lena. Free on technicality. Piped up in interviews. She manipulated us all. Toxic. Jake. Silent. Vanished to his folks in Spokane. Rock bottom hit that night. Lights out isolation. I curled fetal. Sobbed silent. The reset's irony mocking. Back from death. Marching to a cage. But dawn birthed clarity. Fight smarter. Not harder. Inmate Grapevine whispered. Reyes had a soft spot for redeemed snitches. I requested a deal meeting. Week 2. Visitor log cleared for Harlan Voss himself. Orange jumpsuit clashing his patrician scowl. Avery, he drawled. Glass between. You've balls. But this? Amateur hour. Gloat or bait. Your empire's ash. Harlan. Enjoy the view. He leaned. Conspiratorial. Ash? Try Phoenix. The senator's untouchable, deep state shields. Drop names. Get a walk. Names? His cabal's crown. Senator Elias Grant. Chair of Tech Oversight. Apex's silent partner funneling code to adversarial bids. Temptation slithered. Freedom for betrayals encore. But no, I'd crawled from grave once. Wouldn't rat for scraps. Rot in hell, I spat. He laughed. Chilling. You'll join soon. And your father? His debts echo your mother's nursing home? Foreclosure notice pending. Mother. Alzheimer's ward in Tacoma. My check's her lifeline. They'd leverage blood now? Monster. I banged the glass. Guards dragged him. Rage reforged, exposed the summit. Solitary segued to Gen Pop. Alliances forged in chow lines. Big Tina, lifer for embezzlement, became consigliera. Feds bluff hard. Fold soft. Leak from inside, contraband phone. Risky. But I smuggled one via laundry. Dialing Raj collect. They're pinning it on me. Get the senator's ties, public records, donors. He hesitated. Avery, you're toxic. Walk away.
Can't.
It's checkmate or bust. Raj delivered. Encrypted drop via smuggled USB, Grant's packs. Apex donations masked as innovation grants, emails tying quantum to back-channel sales in Beijing.
Gold.
I scripted a jailhouse manifesto. Smuggled to a stringer journo I networked pre-fall, from cell to capital, the Apex Deep State. It detonated mid-May. Byline in The Intercept, Senator's Shadow Empire, Tech Theft Funds Foreign Ops. Uproar, hearings called, Grant's office swarmed. My cell buzzed, literally. Contraband alerts, but Reyes stormed in. What the fuck? Hayes, you just nuked a committee. Plea bargain crystallized. Immunity for full coup? Reduced to misdemeanor unauthorized access. I testified June. Capitol Hill glare blinding. Grant's glare icier. MS. Hayes, he thundered. Your vendetta endangers national security. I countered cool. Your greed endangers democracy. Senator. Dossier appendices projected. His signature on Apex shell transfers. $2 million to offshore consults. Fallout cascaded. Grant resigned in disgrace. Apex dissolved. Assets seized. Divisions husk auctioned. Marcus suicided in county lockup. Ironic echo. Pills his choice. Lena fled to Canada. Extradition pending. Jake, community service. Divorce finalized sans contest, my terms. Alimony nil. But victory's veneer cracked post-trial. Mother visited. Frail in wheelchair. Avery girl. The news. Proud. But scared. Her eyes. Lucid flickers amid fog.
Pierced.
I'd saved her home. But at what soul cost? Raj ghosted. Burned by association. Friends? Vapor. Controversy clung. Book deals dangled. Scheduler's revenge. One woman's war on corruption. But I declined. Fame's trap. Another cage. Instead, I vanished to Portland. Barista gig in a hipster roastery. Scheduling shifts instead of scandals. Jake's occasional texts miss you. Changed man.
Archive.
Yet the texts lingered. Sporadic, roots run deeper. Watch the horizon. Paranoia or phantoms. One eve. Pouring rain. A shadow at my cafe window. Familiar jawline. Voss's fixer from trial photos. Heart stuttered. They weren't done. High summer scorched. Decisions loomed. Testify and grant civil suits? Expose more?
Or fade.
Survivor not savior? The reset skiff soured. Knowledge a curse. Trust ash. Then the call. Anonymous.
Distorted.
Avery. We need your skills. Bigger fish. Deep state olive branch? Or Hydra's lure? I hung up, staring at the burner I'd kept. The game never ended. It evolved. Twist's knife twisted. The voice? My own. Echoed from a future unreset. Infinite loops?
No.
I smashed the phone. Stepped into the storm. Ready for round two. Portland's veil tore autumnal. Leaves bleeding red under relentless drizzle. Mirroring the blood I'd yet to spill, or stem. The calls echo haunted. My future voice a siren's taunt. Bigger fish. Deep state recruitment? Or psyop to break me final. I burned the burner. Ashes swirled in the Willamette. But sleep fled. Nightmares looping. Father's dice rolls morphing to Apex spreadsheets. Harlan's laugh the devil's dice clatter. Mother called weakly. Voice frail filament. Come home. Avery. The fuss is fading. Fading? Try festering. Her nursing home secure for now, but bills loomed. My barista tips a joke. October's chill bit as I clocked out from the daily grind. Apron stained. Dreams deferred. Side hustle bloomed. Freelance scheduling for startups. Ironic armor. Clients raved, "You're a wizard with chaos." Unaware my magic was malice-honed. But isolation itched. Raj's silence screamed abandonment. Old college crew scattered by scandal stink. One eve, over IPA at a brewpub, I Googled myself. Avery Hayes now. Tabloid detritus. Where's the scheduler slayer? Theories wild. Witness protection. Suicide sequel. Plastic surgery exile. The shadow reappeared November 2nd. A Tuesday, Death Day echo. Hooded figure at the cafe's alley door. Rain slick. Handing a manila envelope before melting. Inside. Photos me at the roastery. Jake in Spokane with a new girl. Mother's ward chart with delinquency stamped. And a note. Join or jeopardize. No signature. But cologne whiff. Klein's fixer. Victor's ghost from Nexus ashes. The Hydra stirred. I didn't run. Plotted.
Dusted off hacker contacts.
Low level now. For a trace. Envelope DNA to a DC PO box. Tied to Grant's Xaid. Consulting firm. Deep state indeed. Black Ops tech recovery. My talents coveted for off-books ops. Temptation nod. Power.
Purpose.
Paycheck to shield kin. But trust? Shattered mosaic. Decisions controversy crested Thanksgiving. Jake showed unannounced at Mother's. Turkey thawed awkward. Ave.
I.
Reformed. Therapy. AA clean. Eyes earnest. Ringless hand extended. Mother beamed foggy. Family men's.
Dear.
Men's? I excused a porch. Rain pattering. You sold me.
Jake.
For what? A pat on the head. He deflated. Fear. But I love. Love's not leverage. Yet as he drove off, tail lights fading, ache bloomed. Human flaw. Forgiveness's hook. The offer formalized via dead drop. Encrypted drive in a park bench hollow. Coordinates texted. Project Echo. Retrieve stolen Apex derivatives from adversarial servers. Your timelines. Our tech. $2 million. Relocation. Echo. My resets whisper? I decoded layers. Targets Beijing. Moscow. Grant's funnels alive. Code peddled post-fall. Join. I'd be asset. Refuse.
Target.
Crisis peaked December solstice. Winter solstice my crossroads. I flew east incognito. Economy to Dulles. Hoodie shroud. Meeting in a nondescript Herndon strip mall. Tech consultancy facade. Reyes awaited, not adversary.
Ally.
Hayes.
Knew you'd bite.
Twist. FBI front. Deep cover to dismantle the network. Grant's crew rebuilt. Your leaks lit the fuse. But we need inside. My role? Scheduler supreme. Mapping ops. Timing strikes. No cuffs. Doubt ward. Redemption or deeper web. Why me? Reyes shrugged. You beat death. We need that grit. Grit or grave. I signed. Black ink binding. NDAs. Psych evals. Handler signed. Reyes herself. Training blurred January. Quantico shadows. Cyber drills and bunkers. I excelled. Timeline's my weapon. Strike at 0400 UTC. Server low guard. But ghosts haunted. Marcus's specter in Sims. Lena's plea in briefings. Jake texted sporadically. Heard you're ghosting for good? Miss the fights.
Archive.
But heart tugged. First up, February thaw. Virtual infill Beijing server farm. My calendar sync strikes, DDoS diversions, Data siphons. Success. Terabytes reclaimed. Grant's remnant routed. Payout wired. Mother's bills buried. But controversy brewed. Leak mid-op. My hand suspected. Internal witch hunt. Reyes grilled. You talk.
No.
But the text resumed. Echo hears all. Your father's dice? Still rolling. Father. I dug private. His debts not gambling, corporate espionage. Apex precursor gig. Harlan's first patsy. Suicide staged. Me the orphan heir groomed unwitting. Reset? Not random. Engineered? Echo's hint. Time loop tech. Black budget prototype from stolen code. My death. Test run aboard. Mind fractured. Confronted Reyes. This op, it's the code. Isn't it? Quantum's ghost.
Herr Pausendemming.
Classified.
But yeah.
Echoes ripple. I was pawn eternal? No, queen now. Climax crash march. DC safehouse raid. Grant's cabal converged. X-aids. Nexus holdouts. My shadows incarnate. Gunfire symphony. My timeline the conductor. Breach east wing. 2100 hours. Hostages minimal. Inside. Face to face with Victor Klein. Cowering. You bitch, ruined us. I zip-tied him. Whisper. Just scheduled your end. Grant cornered last. Penthouse panic room breached. Avery, he wheezed. Revolver trembling. You're like your father, doomed to chase ghosts. Bullet dodged, Reyes shot.
Clean.
But his dying words. The loop. You chose it. To win. Chose? Flash. Pre-death. A cryptic email from Echo. Offer for second chance. Accepted in Xanax haze. I'd bartered my soul for revenge. Time folded into puppetry. Aftermath. Op sealed. Me retired with pension. New ID. Elena Voss. Irony's wink. Portland shed for Boise anonymity. Coffee shop my own now. Schedules simple. Mother relocated nearby. Lucid days cherished. Jake, one last meet. Closure cafe. I forgive, I said. Not lied. He smiled sad. Deserve it?
No.
But thanks. Yet the final twist lingered. Midnight. Till closed. A package. Drive labeled Echo 2.0. Voice file plays mine. Future. Ready for the next reset? Bigger stakes. I smash it. But smile creeps. Death's not end. It's draft. In Boise's quiet. I live, scarred. Sovereign. The scheduler who toppled empires. One tick at a time. And if the dice roll again, I'll rig the game. Happily ever fractured.